Record progress.
Welcome back to the PT Graduate Podcast. My guest today, Kirsty Watt. Hi, Kirsty.
Kia ora, how are you?
I am very well, thank you. Very well indeed. Yourself?
Good, good. Cold,
Cool.
but good.
Cold. What have you got down in Rotorua today?
It's sunny, but it's not warm.
Right.
I
I
don't
hear
know.
you.
I don't even
Yeah.
think maybe 10 or 11.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We're same conditions, but about 17. So bit toastier. Bit toastier. Nice to have got rid of the rain.
Are you
So
muggy
Kirs-
still at the moment? Are you muggy up there?
yeah, usually, but actually that's gone away now. It's quite crisp now, so I quite like it.
That's good.
Autumn's a good month. Autumn's a good month. Autumn's a good season. The autumn months are good. Tell me a bit about Beautiful Fitness. Where did Beautiful Fitness come from, the name?
To be honest, I don't really know.
Ah,
Um, I just it was maybe about 12 years ago. I've
hmm,
kind of wanted to change it in the last few years, but then I just haven't really thought of anything I liked, so we've
hmm,
kind of stayed there. I guess it comes from like when I used to run boot camp style stuff, and then
yeah,
like the feel good feeling you get after exercise as well.
mm.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah, yeah. Everyone can attest to that for sure. You
yeah,
don't always want to start, but you love it when you've finished.
yeah.
So you've been in the industry 12 years. You're an experienced hand. But prior to that, military background, naval background.
Yeah. So I did that for about 13 years.
Mm,
Yeah, so I worked in logistics in the Navy, finished up as a chief petty officer, done
right.
some pretty cool trips. Went to Antarctica at Scott Base for
Mm,
6 months in my younger years.
yeah.
Spent a deployment on a ship on HMNZS Tamana, up in the Persian Gulf, so where all the stuff's heating up at the moment.
Yeah.
Also spent another 6 months based in Dubai, helping with the logistics of our guys in and out of Afghanistan. So
Right.
working with the guys in Bamiyan, and then we had our SAS and all that stuff as well. So helping
Ooh.
source mainly motorbike parts for the SAS.
Ah,
But yeah, did a bit of that for 6, 7 months, and then spent 6 months in Egypt, in the Sinai Desert or Peninsula.
crikey.
So most people don't know that we've been there for about, I'd say over 40 years now. I think
Right.
1978 or
Crikey.
yeah. So we've been there for a long time,
Yeah.
and there's Fiji, like the Fijians are there. There's
Yeah.
about 13 countries when I was there, so that was quite a while ago now.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Did some pretty cool
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And so were you always interested in fitness? Was that a
No,
logical talk me
no,
through that?
no. Um, I think with the Navy itself, you've got to have a certain standard of
Mm.
fitness.
Yeah.
And to be honest, in my younger years, I really struggled. Like a fitness test when I actually joined this, I think tomorrow, what day? Yeah, tomorrow is like 25 years since I joined the Navy, I
Right,
think.
right, right.
My intake wouldn't attest to that. But yeah, May 2001,
Mm.
and we had to do a 2 mile run.
Yeah.
And I struggled. Like I think I only passed it like once or twice, maybe.
Mm.
Um, I'm not a runner, essentially. And I think that you had to do 10 push-ups, maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, so that was our fitness test back then. And soon
Mm.
after I joined, it changed to a beep test. And it was standard regulation was 7-1 for the
Yeah.
beep.
Yeah.
Also struggled with that as I
Mm.
started drinking more and not really caring about life, and I didn't have instructors yelling at me to move. Um, but yeah, so I really struggled for probably 3 or 4 years, especially around the time I think just before I went to Antarctica, maybe.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. So I came back from Antarctica and did a leadership course, and I don't know how I passed that fitness test to get on it, to be honest. But I remember my first run as a group one of the runs. And I mean, I'd come from -18 to like 22 degrees,
Right.
something like that, in a matter of a couple of weeks. And
Oof.
I got heat stroke the day when
Mm,
we just did the peg or the 2 mile thing,
mm.
carrying telephone poles. And I literally fainted,
Oh,
vomited,
geez.
fainted.
Mm,
So my fitness wasn't great.
mm,
I wasn't the worst in it, of course, so that's the main thing. But yeah, I wasn't really into it until probably I was about 20. I joined at 21, so
mm,
probably 26, 27 years old, maybe.
mm, mm,
And I went on a weight loss journey and then got into going to the gym and stuff. But still, I wasn't doing like weights and that. I was going to spin classes and did a bit of boxing. And then on our deployments, depending on what one, we had like exercise classes in my one in Dubai. It was on a Emirati Air Force base, but there are
mm.
Canadians there. And so they ran the gym, and it was actually a civilian Canadian lady that used to run spin classes, but she was actually a deaf mute. So she
Oh.
couldn't yell at us, which was great. And she must have just known what timings of the songs were. I don't know. But it was
Yeah.
really, really cool. I loved
Yeah.
actually doing classes with her. And yeah, so we had a whole heap of different kind of fitness things or styles over the time.
Mm,
But when I had my first child in 2013,
mm.
yes, um, then I was doing fitness, pregnancy fitness class external to the Navy,
Yeah.
and that kind of got me into it. And then when I had her, and I returned to like the postnatal one, and that kind of was what made me want to be a PT, was
Yeah.
working with mums.
Yeah. 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 And that's the area you specialize in now, right?
So I've kind of gone away from that a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was, and I will still take one-on-ones, but I've sort of gone away from it more for the fact that I'm not a little kid person.
Mm,
I'm not even really a baby person. I
mm.
love mine, obviously, and I love my friends' ones and families, but the random little ones that will come and they wreck all your equipment and like it's just I'm not someone that's ever been great. I mean, I'm fine with kids, but I'm not
Yeah.
someone that really wants to see kids.
Sure.
Mhm. So
Okay.
I still train a couple of mums, but I don't do classes and stuff like that anymore. It's
Ah, okay. Okay. So what are your classes? What's the majority of the people who do the classes now? What's their focus?
so I'm still training women, so I have
Yeah.
classes in the evenings, 4 days a week.
Mm,
And we've got like a teenage couple of teenagers that come and their mothers
mm,
and some 70-year-old people in there. So the range is huge.
mm.
Yeah, so not so many oldies come to the boxing sessions, but
Yeah.
a couple, and they love it. They smile away like because they've never hit anything half the time and they've needed to for a while. But it's a very big range in terms of the classes.
Mm.
And then the PT stuff, there's a couple of mums, but their babies are coming up to like two now. And I mainly kind of have gone towards hypermobile people in
Ah, okay.
the last few
Mm.
years,
Yeah.
or just people that are in pain,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
yeah, that kind of thing. So it
Yeah.
hasn't, and the thing is, a lot of our mums have a hypermobility as such because they're
Mm.
relaxed and has made that,
Yes.
so it kind of fits in there as well. But
Yes.
also work with a lot of neurodiverse people,
Okay.
and most of them are hypermobile.
Ah, is there a correlation there? Yeah.
Huge. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. So, is there any particular category? I don't know how to phrase it appropriately in terms of the neurodiversity. Is that mobility, hypermobility seen in one area more than another, or?
Um, it really depends. It's It's a real annoying thing because hypermobility, you need to teach people how to stabilize, but they
Mm,
don't concentrate. And to stabilize, you need them to concentrate. So it's
yeah.
quite an interesting process that you have to
Yeah, I
go
bet.
through. But I mean, certain types and neurotypes will concentrate better. Like
Mm,
autism spectrum are definitely going to concentrate better than an
right.
ADHD person.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely a higher comorbidity of people with neurodiversity
Mm,
that have hypermobility spectrum disorder or
yeah.
EDS or things that correlate with that. So you can get very common with hypermobility is things like POTS, so postural orthostatic tachycardic syndrome, I think,
Yeah.
plus things like fibromyalgia. Um, but
Mm,
fibromyalgia is kind of an umbrella term for you've got pain and we don't really know why.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, things like I can never say it right. It's like dysautonomia or something.
Mm,
It's like a coordination, but it's
y-
also an umbrella term for having multiple things like fibro, mast cell activation's the other one, and
yeah.
POTS. That's kind of the umbrella thing for that. But yeah, all
Mm,
relates to coordination, nervous system
yeah.
connecting with muscles,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting. Is Crips on that list as well?
I don't
This is
think so, but
okay. Yeah.
things
Mm,
change all the time.
mm. And Ehlers-Danlos in terms of
Yes, the Ehlers-Danlos, well, hypermobility spectrum disorder, or HDS, I think it is,
mm,
HSD, is a subcategory of Ehlers-Danlos. So Ehlers-Danlos has about 13 subsets,
right.
and hypermobility is one of them. But
Yes.
you can also be hypermobile but not have Ehlers-Danlos as well.
Right. Yes.
You can also be hypermobile in part of your body and not the other parts of your
Oh,
body.
interesting. Okay. Ooh.
So we do things like the
Mm.
Bayesian test.
Yeah, I was
That
going to
doesn't,
say
yeah, that doesn't check for a lot.
it's that wouldn't be thorough enough, would it? It
No.
would it just no.
In my opinion, it needs to go.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like that when they do that, they don't check skin, like when you got skin that is
Oh yeah.
quite um flaccid, probably called.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or what else is there? Like you can get quite brittle nails and all that. They don't really check for that. So the when you
Mm,
have something like hypermobility or definitely Alzheimer's, it's a
mm.
full body connective tissue disorder.
Right. Right. Okay. That's interesting. And so do you have some particular checks or tests on your intake form just so you don't miss some of those things?
I do it in person
Yeah.
because most people don't actually know they've got it.
Mm,
So
mm.
you have people that have been told specifically and they'll come to me, they'll be referred, but
Mm.
some people will turn up and sometimes it takes me a while to see it. And often years ago I didn't notice, but if you look at people's before or after photos of anything, which I don't
Yeah.
take them anymore, but that's when I notice it. Would notice
Oh,
I'm like, oh, look at their knees or look at
right.
their side on shoulders and the head's right forward and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
kind of thing. And they're just standing naturally, but you can see it.
Okay. Okay. You've obviously seen enough to know. And
Yeah,
that's the thing, isn't it?
yeah. But there are also people that are in pain a lot. They might
Mm,
overcompensate a lot on one side of their body.
mm.
Normally, I like to call it if they're a right-handed person, they're probably stronger on their left hand side.
Yeah, I just watched that post. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so you might be like, for example, just carrying stuff in from the car. We
Mm,
tend to put our car keys or say a phone or things that we can use one-handed in our right hand side, or if you're right handed or left hand,
yeah.
depending on what you are. So it's easy for you to use, but then we load everything on that other side.
Yeah.
And then you might find that you have sore shoulders, sore hips, sore knees, ankles, you name it, are
Mm,
more prominent to be painful in the joint on the side you're loading more, just
yeah.
day to day,
Mm,
than the other side, the side you write on or whatever.
mm.
That probably gets injured more from like being useless essentially or not as good.
Yeah, yeah. So the dominant side you expect to be able to
Yeah.
perform better can be the side that gets injured because it's actually not as strong and capable as the other side.
Like you're rolling your ankles or
Mm,
that
mm,
kind of thing. Like you might be pronating the feet a bit more,
mm.
mainly because they don't do the work of the other side, but then the other side gets fatigued or
Yeah,
over
yeah,
overused.
yeah, yeah.
That's not really science. That's just a thing I've noticed
Mm,
like
mm.
over the last few years.
You pick that up as you
Mhm.
go, don't you, with that clinical experience.
Yeah.
Um, so talk me through the things that you're doing. So you've voiced over the video. You've got a miniature foam roller that you're trapping
Mm.
between the inside of your knee and the wall, and then you're running through a number of different moves, mobility,
Yeah.
I guess getting the other side going. Is that
So
right?
the standing side, so the one with the foot
Yep.
on the ground,
Yep.
that's the one we're working essentially because it's got the foam roller against the wall. It's one
Got
of
you.
my favorite exercises at the moment.
Yeah.
So you're just doing a hinge movement
Yep.
essentially, but we're focusing on the feet for one. So we're trying to
Mm,
get evenly spread feet or
mm.
3 points of contact, the heel, the big toe, ball of foot, and little toe
Yes.
around the area. I
Yeah.
I also my cues are a bit out the gate, but it's so people like that understand because they don't understand body parts, they don't understand what
Yeah.
they can feel. So I
Yep.
might say, right, think of the muscly or meaty parts of your feet or hands.
Mm,
Um, so we're trying to put that as much into the floor as we can. And then
mm,
as we hinge, we want to push that foot down into the floor and then on the way up as well. And
mm.
you get a bit more bang for your buck in terms of your actual glute engagement.
Yep.
The other thing is with the roller against the wall, and it has to be flush,
Mm,
stabilizes the knee and the ankle. So quite often you'll get the ankle will pronate in, causing
mm,
the knee obviously as well. So it's
mm.
just trying to get them to understand the stabilization of that and using certain things. A band is a good one, anchored
Okay.
onto something. You can do either way,
Mm.
internal or external. Like they're some of my favorite ones at the moment.
Yeah. I like it. I like it.
Try it.
Excellent. I didn't get a chance to look up many more, but the other one that took my changing subjects completely, the other one that caught my attention was the red flag,
Oh, about the
industry red flags.
yeah, yeah. I
You've got
think
some interesting perspectives. Well, I think refreshing is probably a better word.
Well, I think when it comes to on social media, and I spend too much time on it, but it's you see like comments, and
Mm,
it's like, say if someone is larger than people anticipate a PT to be,
mm,
and they will comment on their appearance. I'm
mm,
not like I'm a short person, but I'm definitely
mm,
not a small person.
mm,
And or even just they may not be the style of PT that people always do. I think if I was in an actual gym, people would look at me and look like I was crazy, sort of thing. But I think there's an industry, um, what's the word for it? Like people assume that we should be certain
a
ways.
certain way. Mm,
And I think a lot of those people don't realize that not everyone wants to look tiny, or not everyone wants to lose weight, or not
mm,
everyone. It's people are often, some people are huge in the start of their journey and they might gel better with the PT that they actually, you know, kind of get on with and can build a relationship and that they don't feel
mm,
scared of or judged. And it might
mm,
be a PT that they just they feel that that's them. That's
mm.
the one that they can, I guess, feel safe with.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, they're a reflection of we should be a reflection of the people we serve, really, shouldn't we? We
Yeah.
shouldn't be sitting in this
Yeah.
ivory tower, and eating chicken and broccoli and not be the sort of person that feel people feel like they can approach and just have a normal conversation with.
And I say to people, if you're interested in like dropping weight really fast or dropping fat really fast or um weight, like bodybuilding. I'm not
Mm.
the person for you. I'm not going to touch you
Yep. Yep.
because I'm not your person.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good thing, right? There's room for all
Mm.
all of us to do our thing, and I think that's it's important to be clear on what you do, but also stay in that lane because then you know who you're saying no to as much as you're saying who you're saying yes to and who you're targeting when you're marketing.
And I think the other thing is if someone was, say, into body sculpting or even, I don't know, wanting to lose fat and they injured themselves, I'd help them with that. But I'm
Mm.
not going to sit there and do all the stuff that I don't feel comfortable with. So,
Yeah. 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 Yeah, you've got your areas of speciality. I on your homepage, I quite like the three S's: sweat, swear, and smile.
it's not, yeah. I get a lot of shit.
I haven't seen that on anyone else's website, but it's so bloody true, isn't it? It's like, your clients are going to drop a few expletives during a session if they're working hard.
Yeah. There's a few last night.
Excellent. You do a bunch of online stuff as well as in-person classes, right?
Yeah. So I've had kind of online videos for a while. It's not a
Mm.
huge membership, like there's not a lot in it.
Mm.
And so I do about 5 sessions a week
Mm.
online. They're a maximum of like half an hour.
Right.
But I also have Madre, who does the Pilates one for me, and I have a yoga
Mm.
instructor and a HIIT trainer as well.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, the stuff I'm not qualified or don't want to do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I like it. So do they run, can people participate live or is it all
Yeah.
recorded and then dropped in?
So it is live at the moment. It's about to change. I'm changing to a new platform, but we are doing
Yep.
them in a Facebook group, private
Mm.
one. And then
Mm.
I upload it into my website and people can access it from an app as well. But that's about to change because I'm currently with Wix for my website
Mm.
and I don't really like they don't do what I want it to do, which is the
Mm.
programming side.
Right.
And also their values don't really align with mine. So I've moved to a different system and we're just currently setting that up.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's got to work for you.
Yeah.
Um, I see you've done, I mean, the list is long, a number of different qualifications over the years. One that stood out for me was Stacy Sims and the menopause for athletes. Um,
She's
and
changed the name of it now, though. It's just
ah,
Menopause 2.0, I think. Yeah.
gotcha, gotcha. I'm keen to know more about it because it's an underserved space, right? Now she's done a really good job recently of doing the circuit around all the big podcasts,
Yeah.
and there are clips everywhere of her giving her advice. But what did you get out of the course, and how does that help serve you with day-to-day clients?
I think, and it doesn't matter what course I do,
Mm,
I take bits that
yeah.
um, align with me for a start. So Stacey, there's a bit of controversy around Stacey as well,
Mm,
that that they're saying that there's not human trials with this stuff. But I mean, she does, it's all done through science, and they're saying it's all to do with mice, but it's not. There's definitely a human aspect to it in
okay.
terms of weightlifting and that kind of thing. But
Mm,
there's a lot of controversy around her. And I think a lot of people, and it doesn't really matter who it is, but a lot of people are fixated on the lift heavy movement that has come
mm,
across with menopause.
okay.
And I mean, it is important, but it's not everything. So it's just to me it's about movement. Move.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and if that's lifting weights and that's what you enjoy, do it.
Yeah.
If you're doing mountain biking or whatever, think of the things that will help you mountain bike better, and that's
Mm,
still lifting weights. And it doesn't have to be heavy. It
yeah.
just has to be that you are putting resistance on and you are building strength, because
Mm,
at the end of the day, we want our muscles to be strong and we want our bones to be strong as we get old.
yeah.
And I think I've done a couple of courses that have had a menopause aspect to them, and Stacey's was good, but it's quite intense on the brain in terms of the science stuff behind it. So
Okay.
if that isn't your buzz, then it might be too much.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. There's a lot of good information. There's a lot of great information around the history of women and menopause, and like your a lot of stuff in terms of supplements. Well, more the natural way of doing menopause over HRT and that kind of thing. But it's
Okay.
really good with a whole range of things. Yeah. So, and I've also got her puberty one. I've got to start, but me and Marjorie are doing the menopause one for Marjorie to get Marjorie to finish it, and
Yes.
then we're going to start on the puberty one together. So,
I like it.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
to make sure we do it.
S- Get it finished. Um, is that specifically to target sort of teens and appeal to teens in terms of serving
For,
that market?
for females, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
I think, and I actually think this is what's going to happen with the industry is there's been like a big pregnancy postnatal vibe, like
Mm,
probably when I started 10 years ago. And then
mm,
as I've aged and come in through the perimenopause slot, and a lot of us are in the same age bracket, we've then become interested in menopause for us as well
yeah.
as our clients.
Yeah.
And then as our children are getting older, we're going to be like, okay, we need to learn more about that now. And
Mm,
I think it's going to do a full circle thing around shortly to
yeah.
puberty is my thing.
Okay.
And the fact that we are putting more focus on women's sport as well,
Mm,
because
mm,
girls tend to drop out quite early. I think it would be important for people to have the information around what the body's doing. Certain things like girls are more likely to injure the ACL and that kind of thing. So
mm.
understanding the dynamics as well.
Okay. Interesting. And what's the reason for that in terms of girls more likely to injure it than boys?
With the ACL, I think it's to do with the hip, like the Q angle and all that stuff.
Mm,
I'm not 100% sure though.
okay. Okay.
It's something like 8 times more likely, or
Ooh.
don't quote me on that though. It is a higher amount
Mm.
with girls than it is with boys for ACL.
Just started working with a female athlete, and I've just made a note of that because that's something that I probably need to be across.
But
Feet.
I believe it's to do with the angle of our hips.
Yep. 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 I will do some research later. Thank you.
Right.
And the other thing that jumped out to me was something I haven't seen before anywhere is the symptoms checklist. I thought that was a really useful tool and making it available to people so that they can self-assess essentially and then go, oh, okay, there's more than one. And you've said a minimum of five or minimum or maximum, I can't remember, but at least that's kind of gonna trigger people's thinking to go, oh, I probably need to go and speak to somebody.
Yeah. So perimenopause, if you're not sure about it, is it's it's kind of before your period stops. So it could last for 10 years. And
Mm,
it's the time around menopause. So your period might stop and you're still getting symptoms.
yeah,
It can last 10, in some cases 20 years.
crikey.
And so some people they just associate hot flushes, weight gain,
Right.
that kind of thing with it. But a lot of it that we don't understand is you get bleeding gums, and for
Mm,
me, itchy head,
mm.
like itchy scalp,
Yeah.
itchy ears, all that stuff was probably one of the biggest symptoms that I had that I
Okay.
didn't realize was. But I remember my mum used to sit there, the pen
Oh.
your scalp for years and years. So she had it too. But it's understanding that there's more than just what the doctors that often the GPs are like, oh, you're not complaining of hot flashes or you're too
Mm,
young is the
mm,
biggest one. But
right.
from about 35, you're probably going to have at least a couple of symptoms if you are
Mm,
a symptomatic person.
got
Rage
you.
is a huge one.
Which one?
Rage, wanting to kill your partner.
Okay.
For
That's good to
breathing.
know.
Yeah, for breathing.
For breathing.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
And sometimes, like, I remember talking to a friend and I was listing them all off, and her husband was in the room, and she's like, no, no, no. And he was like nodding.
Confirmed.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, whatever. He's answering the questions for me. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
that kind of thing is having that there, and people don't understand that it's menopause is you can't really test your hormones unless you've been doing it for
Mm.
years before.
Okay.
So it's a symptomatic thing.
Yeah, because you've got nothing to compare it against as to the change, right? Mm. Mm. Important. Important. We need to encourage that more regular checks.
Yeah.
Would you, I mean, you said 35, but would you suggest people are getting their bloods done earlier than that on a regular basis?
If they wanted to, but again, they have to get them done at certain times of the month
Mm.
as well. So if you were getting blood tests, it would be done. I think you can test for testosterone though, I believe. Um, but yeah, for your estrogen and that, you have
Mm.
to do it at specific times, and sometimes it means nothing. So they're just like, "No, you're fine," but you may have had actually a really high level before, and it's still above the normal.
Mm.
Most
Mm.
people,
Mm. So it's the pattern that's important.
yeah.
Is there a particular window that you recommend in terms of sort of days of the cycle?
I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure
No,
it's like day two of your cycle, which is like the second day of your period. And then
okay.
like I think ovulation, I can't remember though. I'm not
It's
100% sure. It's
not
been
19.
ages. Yeah,
19 to 21 rings a bell for some reason.
maybe. That
I could be wrong.
yeah. It could that's kind of nearish ovulation, but also in
Right.
the full luteinizing stage or phase,
Yeah. Yeah.
lutein
Yeah.
stage. It's been a while since I did that course.
Fair enough. Yeah, so that's a useful, I guess, useful resources for people to be able to go and check out. And
Mhm.
I'll leave a link to your website at the bottom of the show notes so that people can go and have a look for that themselves.
Yeah.
And if they want to have a chat to you, they can drop you a line.
Yep. Sure.
So before we sign off, it's that time again to pick your brains and ask you for your top tips. What would Kirsty's top tips be?
Um, I think when it comes to education, because I like learning new things,
Mm,
um, is to not stick to your niche. So you may have picked like pregnancy, postnatal, menopause,
mm,
whatever. Do all the random stuff because that's
mm,
where the gold happens. That's where you don't realize how much like the course that I did with you, how
mm.
much it fits in with even postnatal pregnancy stuff because they have
Yeah,
mobility issues and pain and all that stuff. So you may stick to one thing here. You're like, yeah, I've done all these courses for that,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it's the random ones that actually are where you're like, I can use this with these people. Um,
yeah.
that would be what I'd encourage because I know of trainers and they're like so focused on their niche,
Mm.
like you're missing out on all the cool stuff. You already know all that stuff. Come and
Yeah,
find you.
exactly. You've spent a lot of time learning all there is to know in your niche, but then I mean, it's a leap of faith to an extent then, isn't it? If you're going to do something that's outside of that, but you know that you want to keep learning,
Yeah.
whether it's going to be the right thing.
It's not necessarily outside of it if you have people
Okay.
that are interested in something. So say
Mm, mm,
someone's interested in maybe lifting heavier weights or
yep.
say someone's interested, like they're in pain. So you're like, okay, what
Mm,
what can I do to help these
mm,
people? And that I think it's really cool. I think those are the ones I've enjoyed the most is the random that I never thought I would do type
yeah.
of sessions
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
courses.
I like
Um,
I like that. That hasn't come up before as a recommendation or a suggestion, so love it. Different.
yeah. What else is there? It's understanding. So neurodiversity, I think, is huge. So
Mm,
I didn't really get it until I was diagnosed. But
yeah.
if you're going to have these clients, and they probably don't know, and you won't know, but
Mm,
everyone has them. So these are clients you might give some homework to, and they don't do it. They
yeah.
literally walk out of the session and they forget you even exist until an appointment reminder comes up. and they're like, shit, I haven't done my homework, or they can't remember it,
Mm.
or they may miss appointments, or they drop out, but they've tried and then they drop out. And
Yep.
those are more than likely your ADHD folk.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
And for them, it might be that you don't give them homework, don't expect them to do it, but maybe send them a video of something in the middle of the week and say, hey, can you try this for me and see how it feels? Or
Yeah.
book them in more
Sure.
if you
Yeah.
can, if they
Yeah.
can, and if you can, because they're the ones that need it in terms
Okay.
of they're not going to do it by themselves. They may get to a point that they're hyper focused and at the start normally, and they'll go hard for a wee while, but
Yep.
they'll eventually lose focus and
Okay.
drop off. So it's more about having consistency with them, and you're that person that keeps them
Mm.
in line.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
And
Good
a
advice.
lot of, yeah, a lot of people get frustrated by that,
Yep.
by the fact that people don't do their homework. One of the questions I ask, if I give you homework, will you do it? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to give it to you
No.
because there's no point. It's
No.
wasting everyone's energy.
Mm.
And they feel judged when you don't do it, when they don't do it.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
And
I like it.
probably my third one is your community is
Mm.
important. And it's to build people that you enjoy hanging out with and that they enjoy hanging out with each other as well, or you.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of seriousness that I see online as people are whinging about people talking in the session or, like that kind of stuff, or
Mm.
um, just moaning that their client talks too much or they do this and that kind of stuff. And it's like, well, actually, you're building a relationship with that
Yeah.
person, and they're more
Yeah.
likely to stick around if you connect with them and talk back.
Exactly.
There's
Exactly.
ways you can get around it, and you just like go, okay, and start counting for them. Not that we're any good at that, but it's it's kind of like there's ways to get around stuff with the talking, but it
Yeah.
also
Agreed.
means you understand what's going on with that client. They trust you, and you're better off in the long run in terms of their respect for you will be better. But
Mm.
also in terms of classes, let them talk. I let mine, because mine's done from home. I don't go down pretty much until right before the class. So I let them actually talk to each other and connect and just chat because I
Mm.
find that when I'm not around, they're more likely to build friendships and relationships with each other.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. I like that. That's a deliberate technique. I like it.
Mm.
I've always struggled with the clients that don't say much at all.
Yeah.
Like you talked about, you building relationships. I can't if they're not talking back. It's like one word answers. It's like getting blood out of a stone. I'd rather have the talker, and then you just keep moving, and they have to do the thing, whatever they're doing next. But they can keep talking if they want to, as long as they're doing the other stuff at the
Yeah.
same
I
time.
I find them really hard, but put music on or something.
Yes, and turn it right up.
But
Brilliant.
yeah, I think you'll attract people that are similar to you as
Mm.
well.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, that community thing is probably one of the recommendations that comes up the most, and I think it's the thread that runs through everybody's fitness business for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. Awesome. Well, it's been really great chatting. Thank you. I found even more out about you than I did when you came and did the course. So it's really been good. So thank you for your time, Kirsty.
you're welcome. Cool.
Awesome. Have a great afternoon.
You too.